Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Yetton Field in Waltham, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of this Lou Tompkins All-Star League 18 and under division summer baseball contest between hosting Waltham and visiting Brookline. This is a marquee matchup for these two teams. Two of the top teams in the Lou Tompkins A division so far this summer. Brookline coming into this one with a 7-1 record, having won 7 straight. Waltham, meanwhile, standing at 8-1, having won 7 consecutive of their own. Both have had their share of blowouts and close calls, and they should give us some really high-level summer baseball here tonight as we get the treat of baseball under the lights here in Waltham, which is why we've got such a late start time here, as we're scheduled for a 7:30 start. We're going to start a little bit later. There was a younger kids game that was being played here that just wrapped up, so going to be some time as the teams get, try and get their warm-ups in as quick as possible so that we can try and start this game on time. Plenty of history in this Lou Tompkins League between Brookline and Waltham. In particular, plenty of recent history, as last year it was Waltham that ultimately ended Brookline's season in the Tournament of Champions, Waltham dealing Brookline their second loss in the double elimination tournament, preventing Brookline from making it to the semifinals in a game that came down to the wire, went 8 innings, so 1 extra inning, as Waltham ultimately got the win 3-1 in that one. In the regular season last year, the two teams faced off, with Brookline getting a narrow 6-5 victory. So again, these two teams, they just have a habit of playing close contests against one another. So I think we're going to be in for a show tonight, folks. So if you know any Brookline or even any Waltham fans that aren't tuning in to this one, you better send them that link, because I think this is going to be a good one. With that in mind, once, as always, if you end up enjoying this live stream, I encourage you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. And as always, I encourage audience participation in the live chat or via email, whatever is most comfortable for you. And as we get ready for the warm-ups, let's take a look at the starting lineups coming in to this one. We'll start with hosting Waltham. Leading off for Waltham, the center fielder, number 15, Billy Champion. Batting second, the left fielder, number 7, Jack McElroy. Batting third and starting on the mound for Waltham today, number 25, Hunter Fucci. Batting cleanup, the third baseman, number 19, Brian Fleming. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 17, Emmett Moynihan. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 21, Joe Leonardo. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 35, Isaac Shatzoff. Batting eighth, an extra hitter, number 39, Billy Grant. Batting ninth, another extra hitter, number 5, Eric Jensen. Batting 10th, the shortstop, number 13, Jack Tamburo. Batting 11th, number 23, the second baseman, Owen Gregoire. And batting 12th, a third extra hitter, number 27, Dante DeStefano. So that is the starting lineup for Waltham today. They're going 12 deep in their batting order, which they are allowed to do. They're going Little League methods here, having their entire lineup, every player getting a chance to bat today. So any substitutions will be either in the field or on the base paths, but certainly no opportunities for any pinch hitters. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup for visiting Brookline. Leading off for Brookline, the center fielder, number 33, Devin Chin. Batting second and playing second for Brookline today, number 17, Keenan Sawada. Batting third, the shortstop, number 7, Caden Sheehan. Batting cleanup, the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 5, Jonathan Liu. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 0, Max Minukin. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 4, Tony Carballo. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 50, Danny Carballo. Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 2, Bryce Hellendrung. And starting on the mound for Brookline today, number 3, Ben Cody. Head coach of the Brookline 18U summer baseball team is John Busey. So those are your starting lineups for today. Out of the players in the lineup today for Brookline, 5 of the 10 players in their starting lineup saw action against Waltham last year. Those being Devin Chin, Keenan Sawada, Caden Sheehan, Noah Klein, and Ben Cody. For Waltham, among the returners from last year's game, Hunter Fucci, Emmett Moynihan, Owen Gregoire, Isaac Shatzoff, Billy Grant, and I think that's it. Out of the players in the Waltham roster today, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So both teams with 5 players returning from last year's matchups. And we'll see how things go today. Once again, last year, Brookline edged out Waltham in their regular season matchup 6-5. But Waltham not only got payback, but actually ended Brookline's season in the Tournament of Champions, beating them in 8 innings, 3-1, to eliminate Brookline from the playoffs. And both teams coming in with some strong pedigree. A 7-1 win-loss record for Brookline, 8-1 for Waltham. Both teams sporting a 7-game winning streak. And both teams only trailing one team in the Lou Tompkins 18 and under division standings, that being undefeated Woburn, which currently sports an 8-0-1 record with 8 wins and a tie. And of course, every team in the league technically has one more win on their official win-loss record than I've been saying, just because originally there was a Wellesley team that was going to play in the league, but they forfeited their season. And so every team's game against Wellesley was just automatically marked as a win. So technically Brookline is 8-1 and Waltham is 9-1, but honestly it's kind of stupid. So I've just been saying based on what games they've been playing, because it makes no difference in terms of the difference in the standings. The Waltham defense out on the field warming up. We can see the Waltham starting pitcher, number 25, Hunter Fucci. Fucci did pitch against Brookline in their regular season matchup. He lasted 3 innings in that game, giving up 2 earned runs on 2 hits and 1 walk with an impressive 7 strikeouts. Ended with a no decision, as he was pulled after the end of the 3rd inning. And we'll see how he handles the Brookline bats today. Oh wait, they're still waiting on the umpires. They're not ready to go yet. I just heard that they're waiting on the umpires, so this game was scheduled for a 7:30 start time, so okay, I think I see one of the umps walking up, I think. This game was slated for a 7:30 start, and it's currently 7:40. Looks like we've got at least one umpire here. And they're having their meeting behind home plate between the coaches and the umpire. Are we only getting one umpire today? I don't know. Well, for Brookline, obviously, due up will be the top of their order here on the top of the 1st with Chin, Sawada, and Sheehan. Like I said, all 3 of them played against Waltham last year. Devin Chin did not play in the regular season matchup against Waltham, and neither did Keenan Sawada. Caden Sheehan, who was recovering from an injury at the time, only played in the field at shortstop, did not bat. But in the playoff game, they all played. Sawada in that playoff game went 0 for 1 with 2 walks, a hit by pitch, a stolen base, and a run scored, as he scored what was the tying run late in the game. I want to say the 6th inning. Yeah, it was the 6th inning. Sawada drew a leadoff hit by pitch, got a gutsy steal of second off of a strong Waltham pitcher, Connor Gavin, who was a lefty with a strong pickoff move, so very gutsy from Sawada on that steal, and then he was knocked in on a clutch RBI single by Mayfield-Sheehan to tie the game, as Sheehan himself went 2 for 4 with that RBI. Unfortunately for Brookline, that would be their only run scored in that game, and they would lose in the 8th inning. Chin went 0 for 3 with a hit-by pitch in that game. And Chin was also the starting pitcher for Brookline. He lasted 4 innings, giving up 1 unearned run on 6 hits and 2 walks with 2 strikeouts. So out of the top 3 hitters who are guaranteed to come up this inning, that's the stats they had against Waltham last year. If they don't go down in order, then we'll also see Noah Klein, who did see the plate against Waltham in the regular season, going 0 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, and an RBI. He did not bat in the playoff game against Waltham, just played the field at first base. So all 4 of those returning guys only saw the plate in one of the 2 games, and in fact that is also the case for Ben Cody. Cody did bat in the regular season game against Waltham, going 1 for 3 with an RBI, and he was also Brookline's pitcher that day, pitching a gutsy complete game despite giving up 4 runs in the first inning. Still got the win with that complete game performance, allowing 5 total runs, 4 of them earned, on 9 hits and 1 walk with 7 strikeouts. He was also a relief pitcher in that playoff game, pitching 2 shutout innings, giving up 1 hit and 3 walks while striking out 1 in what ended up being a no decision. Okay, we've got both of our 2 umps out on the field, and it looks like we're ready to get this one started. Brookline versus Waltham, out here under the lights at Yetton Field with the sun going down behind us. Leading off for Brookline here, the center fielder, number 33, Devin Chin. Shows bunt. Pops it up the third base side, but it spins foul for strike 1. A good idea, just couldn't get the contact that he wanted. You can see Chin's season stats at the bottom middle of your screen. Remember, 1 asterisk means he leads the team in that category. 2 asterisks would mean a tie for the team lead. That pitch misses high and away, ball 1. Chin leading the team in batting average with a batting average of .650. Also leads an on-base percentage of .731, a strong slugging of .750 as he fouls that one off for strike 2. 9 stolen bases, a team leading 12 runs scored, and 3 RBI for Chin so far this summer. Fouls it off again. It's a tough matchup for Chin as he likes to go light contact, bouncing balls for infield singles. But against a hard thrower like Fucci and on a turf field like this where the ball's going to bounce faster, kind of goes against the usual advantage he has as he takes a high ball to there. But that said, Chin is capable of getting some good liners to the outfield for base hits when the situation demands it, as he hits a roller foul up the first base side. Continues to battle here against Fucci, multiple 2-strike foul balls. Still 2-2. And the breaking ball hangs on him. Ball 3. Chin battling his way to a full count. Fastball misses low and away. Ball 4. Great poise at the plate by Mayfield-Sheehan to earn himself a leadoff walk. Now batting for Brookline, the second baseman, number 17, Keenan Sawada. You can see Sawada's stat line for this summer so far. A slash line of 556, 680, 667. A team-leading 3 hit-by pitches and a team-leading 10 stolen bases to go with 8 runs scored and 3 RBI, as the fastball from Fucci misses outside for ball 1. Fucci, with how fast he throws, it's kind of a disadvantage for any base runners that try and steal, but it's not just any base runner on first right now. It's Mayfield-Sheehan as he's taking off. I think that was a high ball sliding in and just avoids the tag. Mayfield-Sheehan putting on the Jets a near perfect throw from Emmett Moynihan on what was a high ball that gave him the advantage on the transfer to the throw. And now Sawada lifts one out to left, and that's going to curve foul for strike 1. Like I was saying, Moynihan's throw almost perfect. If it was a little bit more to the right and the infielder was able to catch it and just immediately drop his glove down to apply the tag, they might have gotten him there, but it was more towards the middle of the base, so infielder still had to do some lateral movement on the tag. And that extra fraction of a second makes all the difference against a speedster like Chin. 3-1 now the count after that pitch skipped in the turf. That one hits the zone, strike 2. We got our second straight full count here in the top of the first. Sawada fouls this one out of play and stays alive. The Brookline batters giving Hunter Fucci some long battles to start this game. Runner at second, nobody out, full count. Sawada hits a liner, but it's right at the third baseman. And a nice snag at the hot corner by Brian Fleming for out number 1. That's what we in the business call good contact but unlucky placement, as Sawada got a good bat on the ball but just hit it right at a fielder. So 1 out here, runner still at second, and up comes the shortstop, number 7, Caden Sheehan. Takes that ball, I believe it was outside for ball 1. Sheehan so far this summer, a slash line of 320, 433, 320, 1 steal, 10 runs scored, and 7 RBI. So even if his slash line isn't as absurdly high as Chin and Sawada so far this summer, he's been very productive for the offense, playing a part in 17 runs scored for the team. Takes strike 1 to the high corner there. 1-1 the count. That one skips in the turf, well blocked by Moynihan for ball 2. If anything skips past Moynihan, there's definitely enough distance between home plate and the backstop here at Yetton Field that it's an easy extra base for any runners. Sheehan lifts that one foul and out of play on the first base side, strike 2. 2-2 the count. And that one hits the corner. Sheehan thought it was going to curve outside, but stays in the zone, and he goes down on strike 3. 2 down now, a runner still at second. Up comes the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. That one hits the zone for strike 1. Klein has had a relatively quiet start in terms of his slash line, 174, 296, 304, But he's got 1 steal, 8 runs scored, and 4 RBI as he lifts this one into shallow left center. And the left fielder comes in for it. It is caught by Jack McElroy, and that will end the inning. Brookline gets a runner to scoring position but cannot advance him as Fucci recovers well off the leadoff walk and puts Brookline down in order after that. We move to the bottom of the first now, as we'll be seeing the top of the Waltham lineup, Champion, McElroy, and Fucci. And starting on the mound for Brookline today, we can see him warming up. It is number 3, Ben Cody. Cody made his first pitching appearance for this Lou Tompkins team on Monday, pitching 1 inning where he gave up 2 unearned runs as Brookline got the win in that most recent game. In that game against Jamaica Plain, that Brookline won 5-2. Cody pitched the 7th inning, gave up 2 runs, but both of them unearned due to a throwing error. So not a lot of stats to speak of for this season, but plenty to speak of in seasons past, not just in the summer, but in the spring, because this is actually the second time in calendar year 2025 that Ben Cody is pitching here at Yetton Field. He pitched out of the bullpen for Brookline High School in their season opener here in Waltham back in April, or it actually might have been the end of March, can't remember, but he had a strong 3 innings of relief. I think he gave up maybe 1 run in that one. Yeah, it was March 31st, so it was the end of March. And he pitched 3 innings, gave up 1 unearned run to earn the save, the first save of his varsity high school career in that one. So he's had some success in a recent matchup against Waltham High School. And last year, he was Brookline's lead pitcher, amounting a 4-1 win-loss record, team leading 4 wins, and a team leading 26.1 innings pitched. Also led the team in strikeouts with 22, and in ERA at 2.39, and in WHIP with a mark of 1.25. All that in 6 pitching appearances and 5 starts. That was last summer in 2024. And so after finishing his high school career with Brookline High this past spring, he is now here his last summer season before he goes off to college. Leading off for Waltham here, the center fielder, number 15, Billy Champion. First pitch is fouled to the backstop, strike 1. You'll see that Cody, as a pitcher, stylistically, is kind of the antithesis of what we saw from Hunter Fucci in the top half of this inning. Fucci, a very hard thrower, throws mostly fastballs, working in some breaking balls, as this is a hard bounce over to second, fielded clean by Sawada, and thrown to first for out number 1. But the thing about Ben Cody is that he throws mostly breaking balls. He puts really good movement on his pitches, but doesn't throw with a ton of speed, and just mixes in the occasional fastball just for a change of speed from his breaking balls. That one's going to miss low for ball 1. At the plate for Waltham, the left fielder, number 7, Jack McElroy. That one hits the zone, strike 1. swings and whiffs at the off-speed pitch there, strike 2. Tried to mix it up with the fastball there, but misses low and away, ball 2. 2-2 the count here to McElroy. 1 out, bases empty here in the bottom of the first. This one lifted out to right, and it's going to bounce in front of the right fielder, and that's going to be a 1-out single for McElroy. So we got our first base hit of the day for either side. And now for Waltham, their first returning hitter from last year's matchups against Brookline, the pitcher number 25, Hunter Fucci. A good block on that bouncing ball by the catcher Danny Carballo to hold the runner at first. It will be ball 1. Last year in the regular season matchup against Brookline, Fucci had a strong day at the plate, 3 for 3 with a double, a steal, and 2 runs scored, as that one is going to miss high for ball 2. In the playoffs, Fucci went 2 for 5 with a double, so 5 hits out of 8 at-bats, so 5 for 8 with a pair of doubles across 2 matchups with Brookline last summer. 2-1 is now the count after that first strike hits. And that one hits as well, strike 2. Two and two the count with 1 down. And that one's going to miss to the outside. Carballo thought about throwing to first. Was checking to see if McElroy was going to try and make a break for it, but nothing there. It'll be a full count. That one hangs high and away for ball 4. 2 runners on now for Waltham. Now coming up, the third baseman, number 19, Brian Fleming. Fleming made a nice catch at the hot corner in the top half of the inning. And now the runner's taking off for third as that one got away from Carballo. That one either, I personally think that would be called a passed ball, but I'll double check that later on Game Changer. It is important just for potential ERA considerations, as that pitch from Cody is going to miss for ball 2. You see, any runs scored with the aid of a wild pitch still count as earned runs, but any runs scored with the aid of a passed ball are not earned runs because considered a fielding mistake rather than a pitching mistake. That one's going to miss as well. Cody's struggling with his control here early. He's issued 1 walk and now 1 ball away from issuing another. Hits the zone there. Fleming taking all the way for strike 1. 3-1 the count. And gets him to chase the low fastball for strike 2. Cody battling back from the 3-0 count. And this one is going to be lifted out to center. Chin is under it. Runner tags, heading for the plate. Throw comes in, cut off by Klein. Throw to third. They got the tag at third. That ends the inning. And so Brookline ends it on a double play. Now the question is, did the run come in before the tag? If the run's scored before the tag, then it counts. Oh, wait. Oh, did they overturn? They overturned. The runner's safe at third. Never mind. Okay, so the run definitely counts. That's only 2 outs. Wow, that was chaotic. It was a smart heads-up play by Noah Klein, the cutoff man, to cut that ball off and go to third. They almost managed to catch Hunter Fucci at third, but the call overturned by the umps, and so it'll be a runner at third with 2 down. And up comes the first baseman, number 21, Joe Leonardo. Jack McElroy scores on the sac fly by Brian Fleming. And my mistake, it's not Leonardo, it's the catcher, number 17, Emmett Moynihan. Moynihan takes a high ball 1 there. That one hits the zone for strike 1. Moynihan, another returning player for Waltham. Did not play in the regular season game. In the playoffs, went 1 for 3 with a walk as he lines a shot into right center. That's going to drop in, and that is going to bring in Fucci as he's stretching it out to second. The catcher putting on the wheels to stretch that into an extra base hit. And Fucci will score on that one. Wait. Now Moynihan's at the plate. Have I just completely lost track, or did I have the batting order listed wrong? Oh, that was Leonardo. Ay, ay, ay. I had the lineup mixed up there. So Joe Leonardo with a RBI double there. Emmett Moynihan is now at the plate. Maybe I entered the lineup card wrong when I was entering it in, or maybe it got changed around last minute after it was shown to me. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Point is, we've got the correct order now. Moynihan at the plate, Leonardo at second. 1 and 2 the count, 2 outs. And Cody gets him swinging and missing for strike 3. But Waltham strikes first, and at the end of 1, the score, Waltham 2, Brookline 0. And you see that inning right there shows exactly why the difference between a wild pitch and a passed ball is so important. Because if it was a passed ball that moved McElroy to third and Fucci to second, then it matters because without them moving into that position, McElroy doesn't score on the sac fly. Maybe he advances to third, but the odds of Fucci getting into scoring position are very slim. And so then, on Leonardo's double, it would probably bring in McElroy in that hypothetical scenario where the passed ball doesn't happen, but that's the only run that would score. Which means if it was a passed ball, it's only 1 earned run out of 2 for Cody. But if it was a wild pitch, then it's 2 earned runs for Cody. And so it just makes a difference in terms of keeping track of ERA. This has been a fun behind-the-scenes explanation for stat keepers. Hope you've enjoyed it. For Brookline, their 5, 6, 7 hitters, Lou Minukin and Tony Carballo coming up. To face Hunter Fucci, who's back on the hill for his second inning of work. They swapped around 17 and 21 on me. Thank you. All right, I just had the paper lineup handed to me, and they did swap around Leonardo and Moynihan in the batting order. But I think everything else should check out. Yep, that's literally the only change, so we're good. At the plate for Brookline leading off here, the left fielder the third baseman actually today, number 5, Jonathan Liu, swings and misses at the fastball there. Liu tied for the team lead in RBI with 8, but can't exactly add to his RBI count here, barring a shot over the fence. Slash line 294, 455, 294 with 4 runs scored. But he goes down on 3 swings and misses. Hunter Fucci bringing the heat to start the top of the second. 1 out. Now batting, the designated hitter, number 0, Max Minukin. Now, I only show the slash line numbers for a batter that's had at least 15 plate appearances this season. Minukin hasn't reached that mark yet, so for now I'm just showing the raw batting line there. 5 for 13 with 2 doubles, a walk, a run scored, and 5 RBI. Quickly behind in the count, 0-2. Fucci throwing nothing but strikes to start this inning. And gets some chase in the high heat there. And boy howdy, Hunter Fucci is on the verge of an immaculate inning here. For those of you unfamiliar with the vernacular, an immaculate inning is 9 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 strikeouts to end the inning for a pitcher. First pitch to Tony Carballo, the right fielder, hits the high corner for strike 1. And Carballo fouls that one off. So not the purest inning possible, as someone did get bat on ball, but still possible to do it in 9 pitches. And Carballo hits a bouncer. It's blocked by the first baseman, flips it to Fucci, who tags the bag. He does put the batters down in order, but Tony Carballo, with the ground ball there, prevents the immaculate inning, as it has to be 3 strikeouts in 9 pitches. But boy, Hunter Fucci was dealing in that inning. 1 strike short of immaculate. And so we move to the bottom half of the second. Waltham still leading 2-0, as Brookline's defense, after a very short break, comes right back out onto the field. Not a lot of time to recover after a shaky first inning. As they have to come right back out and try and bounce back. Ben Cody back on the hill for his second inning of work. And he'll be facing the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Waltham, Shatsoff, Grant, and Jensen. Leading off for Waltham here in the bottom of the second, the right fielder, number 35, Isaac Shatsoff. First pitch is fouled off out of play on the right field side for strike 1. Last year, Shatsoff did not play in the regular season matchup, but he did play in the playoff matchup, went 0 for 3 at the plate with a walk as he takes strike 2 there. And Shatsoff actually got the save taking care of business in the bottom half of the 8th inning after his team took the lead in the top half to get that playoff win. And this plate appearance will end with a pop out to first. Easy can of corn in the infield for Noah Klein. 1 out. Now batting for Waltham, one of their 3 extra hitters today, number 39, Billy Grant. Breaking ball drops low for ball 1. Grant, another returning player for Waltham. He went 0 for 3 at the plate in the regular season matchup against Brookline last summer, as that one comes in high and away for ball 2. He also was a pinch hitter, or a substitute, in the playoff game, went 0 for 1 with a sac fly and an RBI. So he made a key contribution on offense in the postseason game. As he drove in one of those 2 runs in the 8th inning. Hits a slow bouncer past Cody. Sawada snags it, throws to first, and that'll be out number 2. Two down to start the bottom of the 2nd. And now coming up, another extra hitter, number 5, Eric Jensen. Breaking ball does drop into the high corner of the zone for strike 1. That one also hits the zone on the outside corner there, strike 2. Hits a bouncer right back to Cody. He jogs to first, underhands it, and that is the inning. Both teams go down in order in the 2nd, and at the end of 2, our score remains Waltham 2, Brookline 0. So Brookline will be cycling back to the top of their order here in the 3rd inning, guaranteed, as they have the 8-9-1 hitters due up. But while Waltham has already sent 9 hitters to the plate with 12 deep in their batting order today, they're actually not guaranteed to cycle around to the top of their order in the bottom half of this inning, as they'll have their 10, 11, 12 hitters coming up. And that just shows you the key difference in having more versus fewer batters in your batting order, is that guys are going to get fewer plate appearances than they normally would with a 9-batter lineup. But of course, the best way to guarantee more plate appearances for your batters is to score runs and not get outs. Leading off here in the top of the 3rd, the catcher, number 50, Danny Carballo. First pitch from Fucci misses outside for ball 1. Carballo with a slash line of 250, 600, and 250. That includes a team-leading 7 walks this summer with 1 run scored and 4 RBI. 1-1 is the count. Now 1-2 as another one hits the zone. And there's strike three. Fucci dealing on the hill once again as he opens the inning with a strikeout. And now coming up for Brookline, the left fielder, number 2, Bryce Hellendrung. First pitch swung on and missed. They're struggling to keep up with Fucci's heat so far today. But Hellendrung does get a piece of that one. Fouls it to the backstop, 0-2. Hellendrung so far this summer, a slash line of 125, 176, 250 with 3 runs scored. And that one catches him looking, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for the second inning in a row for Fucci. He has now got 5 strikeouts through his first 2 2/3. We're back to the top of the order with the center fielder, number 33, Devin Chin. First pitch swung on and missed, strike 1. Chin battled his way to a walk, thanks in part to several foul balls. He stole second but was left stranded. That one, a breaking ball that fails to break. Ball 1 to the outside. That one catches the inside corner, fools Chin as he thought it was going to come more in but did not. That one's high and away, ball 2. 2-2, the count to Chin. That one also misses just outside, and Chin has once again battled his way to a full count. Hits a bouncer, but it's right at Fucci. And an easy, whoa, that one actually got kind of close as Fucci just kind of lobbed it. Maybe wasn't expecting Chin to be hustling up the line so much, but still gets there in time for the 1-3 groundout. But boy, can you imagine if Chin had been safe on that play? We move to the bottom of the 3rd. Waltham leading Brookline 2-0. And Brookline has only had one player successfully reach base since the leadoff walk by Devin Chin. The Brookline batters have gone down in order for 9 straight batters. Ben Cody back on the mound. He'll be facing the 10, 11, 12 hitters for Waltham, Tamburo, Gregoire, and DeStefano. Now, out of those 3, the only one who saw any playing time against Brookline last summer was Owen Gregoire, who went 1 for 3 with an RBI in the regular season game against Brookline, and in the playoff game was a pinch hitter who went 0 for 1. But the other 2 around him did not play against Brookline last summer. Leading off for Waltham here, the shortstop, number 13, Jack Tamburo. First pitch skips in the turf, ball 1. That one hits the high corner, strike one. And hits a chopper up the middle. Sliding snag by Sawada. Throw to first in time. Boy, that was far from a routine play. If that had not been an out, it would have been a base hit. Keenan Sawada with a very nice play up the middle. Throw may have taken a couple of bounces to get there. But look at the great break towards the middle he got. Great sliding grab. And again, while he kind of skipped the throw, it took 2 bounces to get to first. Still a very well executed defensive stop. First pitch drops in on the breaking ball. At the plate, the second baseman, number 23, Owen Gregoire. Gregoire, the last player from either side getting their first appearance after playing in the games last year, as that one hits the zone as well for strike 2. The only other player I could have potentially referenced, for Brookline at least, was Max Kaufman, but he's down in the DR right now as part of a special, invitational camp thing. Or I think he's both playing baseball and helping to build some houses down there. Wish him well there. And of course, Brookline will be happy to see him back when he returns with how well he's been hitting. This one fouled off, and Gregoire stays alive with a 1-2 count. That one comes in high for ball 2. 2-2 the count. One down here in the bottom of the third. And lifts that one out to right, drops in. Carballo tries to throw to first, but no chance there. A 1-out single for Owen Gregoire. Now batting the last extra hitter, number 27, Dante DeStefano. Takes strike 1 on the first pitch. 1 out and a runner at first. That one's going to miss outside, ball 1. And that one fouled off towards the Waltham dugout for strike 2. This one's a bouncer up the middle. Sawada fields it, flips to Sheehan for 1, on to first, and they turn the 4-6-3 double play. Brookline's infield getting it done in the third. And at the end of 3, our score still Waltham 2, Brookline 0. So Brookline has got to find a way to get something going on offense against Hunter Fucci, who has been dealing so far. They have Sawada, Sheehan, and Klein due up in this inning. Now, 2 of those 3 batters did put the ball in play their last time up, which is good for Brookline, as the The past couple of innings, they've been struggling to put the ball in play. 4 strikeouts out of 6 batters faced. We do have a note in the live chat from Barbara Jo Metzger saying, "Go Brookline. Hi, Jesse, and thanks for calling all these games for us. From Grandma in serious heat alerts tomorrow in northern Buffalo, New York." Yeesh. That stinks. We've been actually getting some nice cool days and nights here as we head towards the end of July. But as long as summer is still chugging along, there's always a chance for it to heat right back up again. Leading off for Brookline here in the top of the 4th, the second baseman, number 17, Keenan Sawada. Shows bunt but pulls back, strike 1. Sawada lined out to third his last time up. Sawada slices that one foul. And out of play, that'll be strike 2. Sawada behind 0-2. And he pops one up into shallow left. Shortstop going back, and he's under it for out number 1. A can of corn for Tamburo. And with 1 down, up comes the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. Sheehan went down on strikes his last time up. That was Fucci's first strikeout of the day. He has now got 5 through his first 3 1/3 innings pitched tonight. That one's going to miss. Outside, ball 1. That one's going to miss as well, ball 2. That one drops into the inside corner for strike 2. And Sheehan cracks a shot deep out to left center, but the center fielder chases it down, and it'll simply be a long flyout. Sheehan knew exactly what was coming after that off-speed pitch for strike 2. He knew Fucci was going back to his heater, and he got a lot of that one, but just a little too under it as it was chased down for a fly out to center. First pitch here is going to be outside for ball 1 at the plate. The first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. Flew out to left his last time up, takes strike 1 there. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That one comes in around the feet for ball 2. And that hits the low corner for strike 3. So for the 3rd straight inning, Brookline down in order as they are still runless and hitless with just 1 walk to their name offensively so far. We move to the bottom of the fourth. Waltham still leads 2-0. And it will be the top of the Waltham order, champion McElroy and Fucci coming up. And remember this, the part of the order that gave Ben Cody such trouble in the first. McElroy getting a single, Fucci drawing a walk. Both of them advancing on what I assume was a passed ball. But again, I'll check Game Changer and see what they call it. And then Fleming drove in McElroy on a sac fly. And then Joe Leonardo with the RBI double to drive in Fucci. And that accounts for every run scored so far tonight in what has thus far been a relatively low-scoring pitcher's duel. And Brookline and Waltham are no strangers to these kinds of matchups. I talked about how last year's playoff matchup went into extra innings with a 1-1 tie. And then a couple of times in years past, Brookline would find themselves in pitchers' duels with Waltham in the league semifinals. We'll see what they do here, as the first pitch is going to miss outside ball 1. At the plate for Waltham, the center fielder, number 15, Billy Champion. He grounded out to second his first time up. That one skips in the turf, ball 2. That one comes in low, ball 3. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk for Billy Champion. Now batting the left fielder, number 7, Jack McElroy. McElroy got a single his last time up and came in to score the first run of the game. First pitch is in there for a strike. Runner's trying to steal. The throw goes a bit wild. And it will be a successful steal for Champion. Oh and 1, the count to McElroy. Hits a hard grounder, snagged by Lou. He's going to go to first. The throw, did it pull him off? It did not. He kept his left foot on the bag despite having to come across his body and dangerously close to the base runner. A nice snag at first by Noah Klein. He has been displaying some good defensive fundamentals. And while the throw was less than ideal, it was still a good catch by Jonathan Liu, and good job holding the runner at second. This one rocketed deep out to center by Fucci. Chin on his horse, over his head. And that's going to go to the wall. The runner a late takeoff, but he's going to have plenty of time to come in and score. A play down at third. Oh, they caught him between the bags. And no one's covering third. Oh, bad fielding fundamentals by Brookline this time, as they give up third base to Hunter Fucci as he launches a deep RBI triple. Give credit to Devin Chin for trying to chase after that deep ball, but just could not catch it. Credit to Brookline for getting it quickly back into the infield to try and hold Fucci at second. But Fucci, I think he had some very smart base running there, actually, as I think he saw that Brookline had no one covering third, which is why he wasn't racing back to second. He was daring Jonathan Liu to throw it to second. And Liu, hearing everyone from his dugout telling him to throw it, He threw it, and a nice snag! Did he get the tag? He did not, and he doesn't get the throw in time either. So Fleming reaches on a fielder's choice, but Lou unable to make the tag at third as Fucci just barely dives back safe. That'll put runners at the corners with one out here. Runners taking off for second, and they're just going to let him take it. Leonardo, last time up, got the RBI double. And he lines one into center. That's going to drop in for at least one. They're going to try and score two. They're going to stop as Chin rifled that one back into the infield. But another run in for Waltham as the top of their order getting the job done today. Joe Leonardo with his second RBI hit of the night as he drives in Hunter Fucci. Fleming makes it down to third, and now we've got a mound visit for Brookline as they now trail by 4. We'll see if Brookline opts to stick with Cody here, and it looks like they will, at least for the time being. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some action going in the bullpen. And again, really, it's just been one part of the lineup that's been giving Cody trouble so far today. Just this top part of the lineup. Now batting the catcher, number 17, Emmett Moynihan. One out, runners at the corners. Runner's going to go for second and take it unopposed as the pitch is in there for a strike. Leonardo down to second. Runners at second and third now with one down. Breaking ball hits the zone there, strike 2. Moynihan, his last time up, went down on strikes to end the first. Strikeout would not end the inning here. And that one's going to skip away, and trotting home on the wild pitch is Brian Fleming. So Fleming takes the plate, Leonardo takes third, and Moynihan takes ball 1. As that one skipped in the turf and got away from Carballo. That one doesn't drop early enough. Comes in high for ball 2. That one does curve in time, and it will be a strikeout. 2 down now as Moynihan goes down on strikes again. Now batting the right fielder, number 35, Isaac Shatzoff. And this one lined out to right. Carballo on his horse chases it down for out number 3. We are through 4 here at Yetton Field in Waltham, Massachusetts. Our score at the end of 4, Waltham 5, Brookline 0. During this break between the 4th and 5th innings, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Education Foundation. The Brookline Education Foundation raises funds to help promote growth and innovation among Brookline educators, growth that can then be passed on to the children of this community. For over 40 years, this foundation has given out a variety of grants across the educational landscape. These include Idea Lab grants for teachers that want to present their students with new and exciting projects, and teacher grants for educators that want to further develop their own skills to bring to the classroom. Many initiatives which have become staples in the public schools of Brookline started as BEF grants. They support literacy education training, new methods in STEM education, project-based learning, mentoring of new principals and superintendents, and collaborative work around diversity, equity, and inclusion, just to name a few. Visit brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846 to find out how you can help support our town's educators and, through them, our students. Once again, that's brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846. And all that information is in the description section down below. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters coming back up for Brookline here in the top of the 5th in Lou Minukin and Tony Carballo. This part of the order almost went down on, or actually did go down on 9 pitches back in the 2nd inning. They'll be hoping for a better result here against Hunter Fucci, who's back out for his 5th inning of work. Misses the first pitch to Lou, high for ball 1. Lou struck out on 3 pitches his last time up. That obviously can't happen now, as that one misses inside for ball 2. That one misses high for ball 3. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk for Jonathan Liu, and Brookline has their first base runner since the 1st inning. Brookline still searching for their first base hit of the day, but they've got a runner at first, and up comes the designated hitter, number 0, Max Minukin. First pitch hangs on him, ball 1. Minukin, like Lou, went down on 3 pitches and 3 strikes his last time up, but also like Lou, that is now impossible. Right after the first pitch, pick-off attempt. Lou dives back safe. That one hits the zone, strike 1. That one is going to miss, ball 2. 2-1 now, the count to Minukin. And misses high. Fucci starting to have some trouble with his control. 7 of his last 8 pitches have missed the strike zone. But that one gets back in the zone, and it's a full count now to Minukin. Swing and a miss, and Minukin will go down on strikes. Almost got a second straight free pass, but Fucci recovers his control just in time to come back and get the first out. Now batting the right fielder, number 4, Tony Carballo. Throw back to first, and Lou dives back safe. Carballo hit a 3-1 ground out his last time up. A pickoff throw at first. Oh, but Lou took off for second, and the throw sailed out to right. Lou is going to get to go all the way down to third, and it's rolling all the way to the wall. Lou is going to score on a pickoff throwing error. My goodness. It was a good catch by Emmett Moynihan for a pickoff attempt, but a horrendous throw that sailed into right field and kept bouncing all the way to that deep outfield wall here in Waltham. And Jonathan Lou able to take advantage and come all the way around for Brookline's first run. Carballo hits a slow bounce over to third, picked up, thrown to first. Oh, just barely gets him by a fraction of a step. The throw was a little slow to first. Gave Carballo a chance, but just couldn't quite leg it out. So 2 down here in the top of the 5th. Now at the plate, the catcher number 50, Danny Carballo, as he takes a high ball 1. That one's going to be low for ball 2. And that one misses high for ball 3. Carballo went down on strikes his last time up, but he's got a hitter's count here at 3-0. And he's got himself a 4-pitch walk. Second free pass of the inning for Brookline, and with the catcher heading down to first, we might see a courtesy runner, or we might not. They might just be letting Carballo run this one out. As coming up, the left fielder, number 2, Bryce Hellendrung. That one in the zone for strike 1. Hellendrung went down on strikes his last time up. And now he skies one into shallow right. Right fielder coming in. He couldn't catch it! He couldn't catch it! And Hellendrung is going to stretch this one out to 2. A double to shallow right for Bryce Hellendrung. And I got to say, that is not how I thought Brookline would break up the potential no-hitter. But that's how it's done, I guess. Runners at second and third. Now for Brookline. As we cycle back to the top of the order with Devin Chin. First pitch inside for ball 1. Chin 0 for 1 so far today, as we got a meeting at the mound briefly between pitcher and catcher. Chin so far today, he has walked and grounded out. 2 runners in scoring position here. A single here could score 2 and put Brookline in striking distance. Swing and a miss there, a pickoff throw to third, and Carballo gets back safe. 1-1, the count to Chin. Slices this one, and it's not going to carry enough. A pop out to short, and that will end the inning. And so I think I'll have to, double check on Game Changer, but I think that'll go down as a base hit for Hellendrung. sir.
Yeah, I watched a bunch.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I live stream my men's leagues games all the time. So.
I was actually at a Yawkey League game yesterday.
Oh yeah.
In East
I did
Boston.
Oh, wait. I was the umpire. Wait, you were with
John.
John.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Hi again.
Hello, Field. Yep.
Yes.
I
Oh my
didn't even
God.
put.
You're actually playing in the part of your name now.
Yes. That was you. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so you have your own channel and then you work with John?
Yeah, John just asked me because we've worked together doing stuff for Arlen Showstack.
Yeah. So I messaged him on Facebook to see if we could get a replay of it.
Yeah.
But I guess he doesn't save the.
I guess not.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Well, you know this one will be saved.
Sorry about. Yeah. Yeah. It's on YouTube, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's good to see you again. I won't.
Good to see you too.
Interrupt.
Well, that was a most pleasant interaction, as we've actually got a pitching change to mark. Coming onto the mound for Brookline here is number 9, Eli Gewurz. Ben Cody lasts 4 innings, gives up 5 runs. Most of them earned, at least 4 of them, possibly all 5 of them earned. You can see Gewurz's stats there, 3 previous relief appearances. And he's been pretty solid out of the bullpen so far. As that first pitch is going to miss outside for ball 1. At the plate here is the extra hitter, number 39, Billy Grant. Grant skies one out to left. And it's going to be caught by Helendrung out in left for out number 1. So yeah, I don't know how much you guys could hear, but I was talking with the field umpire, and he was saying he agrees with me that he would give the base hit to Bryce Helendrung on that one. So that does end the no-hitter, as the first pitch here going to miss for ball 1 to one of the other extra hitters, number 5, Eric Jensen. 1-0 the count. That one missing inside, ball 2. Gewurz has allowed 3 runs, but only 1 of them earned over his past 3 appearances. Nice breaking ball there for strike 1. He has allowed no hits, but 3 walks and gotten 5 strikeouts. This one, a chopper up the third base line and could not be scooped up by Lou. That would have been a tough play to make, so that one might be a single or it might be an error for Jensen. That's when I'm going to go back to Game Changer and check. You know, the difference not quite as consequential as Helendrung's hit in the top half of the inning, as that one put an end to a no-hitter. Now at the plate for Waltham, the shortstop, number 13, Jack Tamburo. A throw back to first, but Jensen gets back safe. Tamburo, his last time up, grounded out to second to lead off the third. Runner going for second, swing and a miss for a strike. Carballo's throw down to second. Not, oh, it was in time. He tried to come in standing up. Jensen thought he had it. Didn't realize how fast the throw was coming in. Seems like he didn't like the call. Maybe he thought that he was interfered with by Sawada, but you gotta slide on those. Came in a little too comfortable and paid the price. So 2 outs now with the bases empty and a 1-2 count here to Tamburo. Chases the breaking ball but gets a piece of it. Stays alive at 1-2. Swing and a miss. Gets him with that breaking ball. And that ends the inning. Eli Gevertz, strong in his first inning of relief. And at the end of 5, the score, Waltham 5, Brookline 1. Brookline does get on the board, but only able to get 1 on the board. They'll be hoping that the heart of their order, the 2, 3, 4 hitters, Sawada, Sheehan, and Klein, can try and do some damage as Hunter Fucci comes back out on the mound for his 6th inning of work. All right, leading off here in the top of the 6th, second baseman, number 17, Keenan Sawada. First pitch is a high ball 1. Sawada 0 for 2 so far today with a line out to third and a pop out to short. Slices that one foul for strike 1. Brookline bats overall have been struggling a lot against Hunter Fucci, but had their best offensive inning last inning, getting both their first run and their first base hit. Sawada lines one, stays fair up the left field line, and this will go for extra bases. Sawada rounding first, coming in, standing up to second. Keenan Sawada with the leadoff double down the left field line. Got robbed of a base hit to a similar spot back in the first inning, but this one, just a little bit more lift to it, a little bit closer to the line, and able to get past the third baseman for a leadoff double. Now batting the shortstop, number 7, Caden Sheehan. First pitch high for ball 1. Sheehan 0 for 2 so far today with a strikeout and a flyout to center. Breaking ball hits the zone there, strike 1. That one hits the zone again, strike 2. One and two the count, no outs, runner at second. That's going to be low and away for ball 2. Sheehan hits a chopper to third, fielded, thrown to first in time, and they hold the runner at second. And that'll be the first out. So one down, and up comes the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. Klein 0 for 2 so far today. He's flown out to left and struck out. Whiffs on that one for strike one. Chases it low, strike two. 0-2 the count. Slices one foul. Klein stays alive. Ooh, did he go around? Yes, he did. Klein could not check his swing there. Strikeout, gets out number 2. Now batting, the third baseman, number 5, Jonathan Liu. Swings hard and just catches air on that fastball, strike one. Liu drew a 4-pitch walk to lead off the 5th inning and then came in to score on a throwing error by the catcher that allowed him to come all the way around from first. That one's going to miss, low and away, ball one. So Liu 0 for 1 with a strikeout, a walk, and a run scored. And can't catch that one, strike two. Checks his swing on that one, ball two. 2-2, 2 down, runner at second. And gets a piece of it, fouls it to the backstop, and stays alive. And tips it, and it pops out of Moynihan's glove, cannot hold on. Liu again stays alive. And that one comes in high for ball three. A full count now as Liu continues to battle here at the plate. And a bit of a late swing, but he sees the ball breaking into the zone and catches a piece of it to continue to stay alive. And again catches a piece of it. Liu not taking any chances on a lot of these high throws that are close to the zone, and he's able to get a piece of them and stay alive. That one high and inside, and Jonathan Liu battles his way to a hard-earned walk. So 2 on now here with 2 down in the top of the 6th. Up comes the designated hitter, number 0, Max Minukin. Minukin has struck out twice today, and he went around on that one, strike one. First and second, 2 down. Brookline trailing by 4. That one's going to miss, ball one. Fools Minukin with the off speed there, strike two. One and two the count. Swing and a miss, and that will end the inning. Brookline gets 2 runners on, but leaves them stranded. And we move to the bottom of the 6th here, with Brookline still trailing 5-1. Eli Gevertz back on the mound for what could easily be the last defensive inning for Brookline, because if they don't score, well, at the very least 4 runs, presuming they hold off the Waltham bats in this inning. If that happens, if they don't score 4, at least in the top of the 7th, then their defense will not come back out. The Brookline bats, which have scored at least 4 runs in every game so far, and have scored in double digits, and I think all but like 3 of their 8 games so far. Yeah, I think Brookline's offense has scored in double figures 5 of their 8 games so far this summer, and have scored at least 4 in every game. But in this game, they've just struggled mightily against the strong arm of Hunter Fucci. You know, granted, there are some absences. You know, Max Kaufman isn't here. This wasn't one of the games where Jackson Fantuzzi could make it. You know, no Leo Vankowski, who's also been a strong hitter for them so far this summer. But still, a very strong offense that just has not been able to handle the pitcher they've been up against today. Leading off for Waltham here in the bottom of the 6th, the second baseman, number 23, Owen Gregoire. Strike 1 there. That one gonna miss for ball 1. Gregoire got a single his last time up, but was thrown out on a double play. That one's gonna miss. Low for ball 2. That one in there for strike 2. 2-2 the count. And that one's going to miss inside. We got a full count to start the bottom of the 6th. This one popped up, and Gevertz goes back to catch it for out number 1. Gevertz had to take a bit of a stroll to catch that one, but hauls it in. Now batting, the extra hitter, number 27, Dante DiStefano. Takes high ball 1. DiStefano grounded into a double play to end the 3rd inning as he fouls this one over the backstop. 1-1 the count. This one lined, taken off the turf by Sawada, thrown to first, and that'll be out number 2. If nothing else, Keenan Sawada has had a very nice game defensively over at second base. And then, of course, also one of the few hits for Brookline's offense with that double he got in the top half of the inning. We're back at the top of the order for Waltham, and taking strike 1 there, the center fielder, number 15, Billy Champion. Champion grounded out to second in the first, but drew a walk in the fourth, stole second, and later came in to score. So 0 for 1 with a walk, a steal, and a run scored, as I believe it's now a 1-1 count. Delayed swing, hits a chopper, pass Gevertz, fielded by Klein. Throw to Gevertz, he dropped it. So Champion reaches on the error. Was an awkward ground ball to an awkward spot, but still a makeable play for the Brookline defense, and they just couldn't finish it. Now batting the left fielder, number 7, Jack McElroy. Fouls this one out of play for strike 1. Throw back to first. And Champion is safe there. Champion is safe there. That one is low for ball 1. McElroy 1 for 2 so far today. He has singled and grounded out to third and scored a run. That one in the zone for strike 2. Doesn't chase on the breaking ball, ball 2. Swings and lifts this one out to right. And it's a can of corn for Tony Carballo for out number 3. We're at the end of 6 now. After 6, our score, Waltham 5, Brookline 1. Brookline down to their last chance, and it's going to be the bottom 3 hitters in their order, the Carballo brothers and Helendrung, representing Brookline's last chance in this ball game. All right, we are going to have ourselves a pitching change here in the top of the 7th inning. For Waltham, Billy Champion taking over on the mound for Hunter Fucci. A simple 1-to-1 swap as Fucci goes out to center. So Fucci finishes the day having pitched 6 innings, giving up just 1 unearned run. You know, maybe you could argue that Lou would have scored anyway on the hit by Helendrung if he had just stayed on the bases. But either way, only 1 run across against Fucci, and he is the pitcher slated for the win. As it stands, this is not a save opportunity for Billy Champion, as he will not be pitching 3 innings. He is not coming in with a lead of 3 or less, and he is not coming in with the tying run on deck or closer. Leading off for Brookline here, the right fielder, number 4, Tony Carballo. First pitch from Champion hits the inside corner, strike 1. So not only is Brookline trying to launch a comeback, they're trying to do it against someone who's delivering from the opposite direction of the pitcher that they've been facing all night. So they kind of have to recalibrate how they're reading these pitches as they're coming in. 0-2 the count to Carballo after he fouls that one off. And it's a 3-pitch strikeout. Champions starting in the inning off well. Now coming up, the catcher, number 50, Danny Carballo. Danny Carballo drew a walk his last time up, went down to third on Helendrung's hit, but was left stranded as that one catches the low corner for strike 1. That one gonna miss to the outside, ball 1. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. That one just misses, ball 2. That one also misses. Champion trying to bring the heat on that one, but no dice, and it's a full count. And Carballo draws another free pass. That, I believe, marks his team-leading 9th base on balls of the summer. So runner on, and now up comes the left fielder, number 2, Bryce Helendrung. First pitch low for ball 1. Helendrung broke the no-hitter with his last at-bat, hitting what was either a single or a double, depending on how Game Changer calls it. That one is going to miss high for ball 2. That one hits the zone for strike 1. Pickoff throw. Carballo dives back. A lefty thrower means quicker pickoff moves at first, so Carballo's got to be careful. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. That one's going to miss, low and in, and we've got ourselves a full count here. Swing and a miss, and that is out number 2. Helendrung gave him a fight, but could not get bat on ball on the payoff pitch. Brookline down to their final out as they cycle back to the top of the order with the center fielder, number 33, Devin Chin. Chin lifts the first pitch out to left, but within range. Oh no, it was dropped. The left fielder dropped it. Folks, it is not quite over yet. That one came in just shallow enough to make it a trickier than average catch, and the left fielder could not hold on. Now batting the second baseman, number 17, Keenan Sawada. First pitch, Sawada hits a bouncer over to second. Chase down, sliding grab, throw to first. Not in time! Sawada legs out the infield single. Wow, well, I'll tell you, I didn't think I'd be saying this, but the tying run is actually at the plate right now for Brookline. And it's possibly the hardest hitting guy on the roster with the shortstop number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan, as he takes low ball 1 there. Now Sheehan hitless in 3 at-bats so far today. A strikeout, a fly out to center, a ground out to third. Takes strike 1 there. 1-1 the count. Bases juiced with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Brookline trailing by 4. That one hits the high corner for strike 2. Excuse me. That one skips in the turf. Well blocked by Moynihan to prevent the runners from advancing. Ball 2. Brookline down to their final strike, but still fighting here in the last inning. Oh, chase it low. And that is strike 3. And even though it was dropped, Moynihan can just tag the plate for the force out at home. And that is your ball game. Brookline gives them a scare in the final inning, but can't quite put the pieces together for a comeback. The final score here at Yetton Field, Waltham 5, Brookline 1. A tough offensive day for Brookline, but certainly one they can learn from, having faced probably the best pitcher that they have faced so far this summer. Hunter Fucci with a very strong day for Waltham. 6 innings of 1-run baseball, allowing just 2 hits through those 6 innings. So Brookline falls to 7-2 on the season. Waltham improves to 9-1. And that is going to do it for this one. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. I'm going to be back live tomorrow, back in Brookline at Warren Field, as Brookline will play host to Medford, scheduled for a 5:45 p.m. start time at Warren Field. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribing to the channel can help. And remember, you can see down in the description section of this video a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Education Foundation. And further down in the description section, you can see some more links related to me, which you can also see in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or you can skip past all that and just email me directly with any questions, requests, or comments you may have. And don't forget to follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I sometimes post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Waltham 5, Brookline 1. From Yetton Field in Waltham, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.